Howdy, how y'all doing today? You know, my boy's school, he's 14. Back toward the first of the year, I got this little old pamphlet home from him, and they was talking about the sex education class. And before they started class up, they wanted some of the parents to come up there and go over the curriculum and see if it was alright, you know, and that kind of thing. So anyway, I go up there and I got my little pamphlet, and I go in, they give me this other little pamphlet on what they was going to teach them. Well, I started looking through there, and a few parents showed up. There was a couple dozen parents showed up, and I'm sitting there going through that little old folder, and I'm looking at it and looking at it, and I saw a lot of things on there on how to prevent diseases and how to prevent pregnancies and stuff like that. And there was a whole bunch of stuff like that in there. But the thing that got me was there was only one little comment about abstaining altogether. So when the teacher and the school nurse walked in there and they started their little speech and telling us this, that, and the other, you know, I brought up, I said, well, why isn't abstinence in here a little bit more? You know, I only see it mentioned in here one time. Well, the whole room just bust out laughing at me. You know, I just sat there saying, you got to be kidding me. They was laughing, cutting up, and having themselves a good time over what I had just said. And the teacher said, well, we only teach the facts in our class. Morality is taught at home. So essentially, you know, the teacher kind of put me in my place real quick. I said, okay. So I sat there and I listened to the little spiel about this, that, and the other, and it went on and on and on for about 20 minutes. And I just kept sitting there and I kept looking around, and the other parents just looking at me, you know, like I was the oddball out or something. And anyway, about 20 minutes went by and the teacher stopped and she said, all right, and she said, it's break time. She said, there's donuts in the back of the room and I'll ask everybody to put on a name tag. Well, all of them got up, run back there and get them some donuts, and I sat there watching them, and they was peeling the backs off them little name tags, and they was sticking them on their shirts real proud, and they was introducing themselves to each other and carrying on, and you know, that went on for about 15-20 minutes, and I'm still sitting there, and I'm still kind of ticked off that what I had to say was kind of put on the back shelf. Well, that teacher come up there with the nurse, and the teacher put her hand on my shoulder, and I turned around and looked at her. She said, won't you come back here and put you on a name tag? Kind of mingle with the other parents. And I said, no, I don't think so. And school nurse, she says, well, come on back in. She said, get you some donuts and some coffee. And she said, they're real good. Coffee's fresh and all. And I said, no, I don't think so. I don't think so. So I sat there, and they went and ate their donuts, and they introduced themselves to each other for about 10-15 minutes, and she called them all back to order. And she told everybody, she said, I want everybody sitting down to take your name tag off and look on the back of it. Everybody takes their name tag off, and they're looking at the back of it, and she said, one of them has got a little flower drawn on the back of it. Who's got the flower? The guy sitting next to me says, I got it. I got the flower right here. And she said, that flower represents that you came into this room with a sexually transmitted disease. Everybody's looking at him. Ooh. She said, now who did you shake hands with? She said, he stood up and he said, that fella right there and that fella right there. And everybody looks at these two guys, and she said, now you two guys have this sexually transmitted disease. Who did you shake hands with? And it went all the way around the room, and eventually she said, now this is the lesson that we're going to teach your kids. That it only takes one to infect the whole group. And everybody kind of applauded, and I'm thinking, yeah, you know, that's a pretty good idea. It's a good way to teach. And I stood up and I said, so everybody in this room caught a sexually transmitted disease? She said, that's right. And I said, not all of us. One of us abstained. Listen. Y'all have a good day.